politics, business, sports, arts, music. Mike and Marty on the beat. Mike and Marty. Mike and Marty on the beat. Mike and Marty. Mike and Marty on the beat. Mike and Marty.
And welcome to the feed. Mike is on a little hiatus right now, but we are very lucky to have David Stern here as both co-host and guest. Did you know you had dual roles?
Dual responsibilities? No, but I'm flattered in the trust.
Good. So David is here to talk about the Wild Goose Players adaptation of Cabaret, which is coming up. But first, let me give you a few local events. So at the Bellows Falls Opera House this weekend is Hoppers. Hoppers is about a 19-year-old animal lover who places her consciousness into a robotic beaver and then learns about the animal world. So that sounds interesting. I'm just going to leave it at that. The classic movie, oops, did I go the wrong way? Nope. The classic movie this week, today is Kenny. So Kenny is a mockumentary following the misadventures of a porta potty worker. How can there be any misadventures with a porta potty worker? And it is dedicated to the treatment plant and best septic workers. Happening this Saturday at the Moose, the Rotary is bringing back the spaghetti dinner. Yay!
That is very exciting.
It is very exciting. It starts at 5 o'clock. It's a little bit different this year. It is going to be a free community event. So all people are welcome. We will be accepting donations for anyone that wants to donate, and the donation money will go to Our Place Community Food Center. And we're starting at 5 o'clock. There's no seatings. There's no reservations. Just come, and we're going to run until we run out of food. So hopefully it will last a long time, and hopefully everybody will get to come and have a spaghetti dinner. And the reason that David is here is we are going to talk about Cabaret. So I have been priming the audience and telling them for weeks that you're coming, and how excited I get that you always teach me a different perspective of a play, and it always makes it more interesting for me.
Well, that is very flattering. I hope I do not fail this time. Cabaret, should I dive in?
Do you want to dive into the what do you want to talk about the set first, or how do you want to go?
I think it might be fun to talk about the production as a whole.
Okay.
And maybe, I know you've got a slide of our old production.
Okay.
It's probably worth noting that we were planning to do this show in 2020.
And I do have that slide if they want to put it up.
And in fact, we were...
Yep, there it is.
That was the production. You can see it's pretty far along. Everybody's in costume. The set is pretty much complete. And
wasn't it literally a week to show?
It was
or the
3
week
days.
That's what I thought.
It was 3 days. So we closed, I believe, March 13th of 2020. And the next day or 2 days later, the governor said you could not have gatherings of more than 200 people. I don't know if anybody remembers those times when they just started filtering out how many people you could be with and so on. But we didn't feel comfortable even before that, bringing hundreds of people together into a room. It just started to sound crazy. So honestly, it was one of the most scarring experiences of my theatrical career, and many people's. They just were like, oh, I can't even think about it again. So we tabled it for quite some time.
I was going to say, whose idea was it to revisit it again, and how did that feel for everyone?
Well, for better or for worse, I'm not going to mince any words. I chose the show because we were in the first Trump term, and we're now in the second Trump term. The show is probably the most prominent piece of anti-fascist, certainly the most prominent anti-fascist musical. It really is a look at how we don't pay attention, how we amuse ourselves while things are happening in the world around us. And for me, I'm I'm just going to, because it's organically coming up in the dialogue, it's been really, I've done the show 4 times.
Oh, wow.
More than most. It is a show that I really love and think is an important piece of theater. But this time feels really different. I was brought up, I'm a Jew. Both my parents are German. Both fled the Nazis. My dad moved to Israel, which is a whole other story these days, and my mom moved to New York. But we were always brought up on it can happen anywhere, and it can happen here. But in a real way, I don't think I bought it.
Yeah.
Until now. Now I really can see how things happen in your surroundings, and you don't know what to do.
You have a picture. I'm gonna find that slide there. It's a slide of Germany and how people looked kind of hopeful. They looked like nothing
that
happening.
Is an enthusiastic. So there was the Hitler Youth, which really did an incredible job of raising up a group of young people that were so enthusiastic about the direction of the country. It was a real nationalist time. They had really been beaten down during World War I, and then they had a huge depression, and coming out of that depression, wheelbarrows of money for groceries. There was so much inflation, which is ironic also a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's so many commonalities right now. And again, I know this isn't this is obviously not intended to be a political format, but it is when you start thinking about the brown shirts, a group of people loyal mostly to one man who were policing the streets and
how does that bring that around to how that works? Because that works into the storyline, correct?
It does work into the storyline.
Yeah. There's the main characters, right?
So it's really interesting. The main characters are, there is a German Jew. There is his the woman he hopes to become his fiancée. Sally
Bowles.
So these are older people. This is Fräulein Schneider and Herr Schultz. He's a fruit shop owner and a Jew, and she is she has a few apartments that she rents. She rents them to our lead characters.
Okay, because that's what I have the slide of.
Cliff and Sally Bowles,
yeah.
Neither of whom are Jewish. And Cliff is an American coming to write, and Sally Bowles is a Brit who's there to entertain. And they really, Sally's attitude is politics. What's that to do with us? And Cliff takes it much more seriously, but the way he deals is he leaves. That is a way. It is hard for me because I do love my country and believe in my country, and it's hard to leave. I will say, in an ultimate irony, I have recently gotten German citizenship because I'm allowed to get German citizenship through my family because they fled the Nazis. And I will say that at least part of my decision to get German citizenship is to have a place to go, which is a really weird flip of the script as we do this. So I'm certainly hopeful that it doesn't get that far, and it never looks like Germany.
So in this particular production, you are taking a different role. So you want to talk a little bit about the fact that
I'm going to be 65 this month, and I'm starting to think about how I might transition, not let go of the company, but ease my role down, and we've hired a whole bunch of new directors, and Hallie Flower, who directed with me on Matilda, is directing this one, and I'm designing scenery and lighting and sort of just in my role as artistic director of the company, doing some other things, but like raising money and things like that. But it's been very different to not be at the helm of my first major musical in 10, 12 years of doing this. And both in a very positive way, and I've never trusted anybody more than I trust Hallie to be at the helm instead of me. Still, that's I have to keep my distance.
I'm curious. So, do you know enough about the production? Is the production? I know it's the same production. I get at the heart of it, it's Cabaret, but there's still. Is it
it's
slightly
totally
different than what
we
you
did.
did?
It's totally different.
I just wanted to show we had showed the Kit Kat Club with your crew, and then this is another scene of like the costuming is a little bit different, and I do want to talk about set at some point. But
the costuming's very different. Masaki Shuti is designing our costumes. She's a real fashion and costume designer. She had this idea of ghosts in a way for the Kit Kat Club, and she's putting a lot of real shears on them, and I think it's a very exciting sort of experimental new look. It both has some of the sexy that is traditionally associated with Cabaret, and it feels a little bit moodier.
Because that's the first thing that when you sent me the slides to look at, that's the first thing I'm like, ooh, this is a different feel. Then there's one picture that's really good. It's this is the picture of the
MC, is it?
The MC, yeah, because he's got the integral role, the welcome role.
I mean, I think that it's very pivotal. I mean, most of the time you think of Joel Grey in the original and Liza Minnelli as Sally Bowles, and those two really are the heart of the captivating elements of the show, the musical elements. And I've never worked with Coleman before, who is, he walked into auditions. Honestly, I'll just say I couldn't take my eyes off him.
Wow.
He is incredibly captivating as a performer. He was a drag performer. And he just brings this.
And that's kind of the key. I mean, he's the glue of the whole thing. I mean,
yeah, there's both a
a
darkness and a brightness to him, to the role. It's just really exciting to watch. I haven't been this. I sent a little email out, and I don't usually proselytize in this way, but I've never had an audition that looked like this one, where just person after person had incredible skill, and we just were able to pick an outstanding group of 25.
That's crazy. At 25, wow. Now, are there some of the regular Goose players in this one?
Yeah. They're definitely Aidan Flower, who was Sally Bowles 6 years ago, is Sally Bowles again. And she just was in Merrily, and she was Joanna in our Sweeney Todd way back when.
That was a while ago.
Also an unbelievable performer. And I think will bring something richer after 6 years. She was 18 when she was Sally Bowles
really
last time,
cool.
and now she's 24, and I think that's a better age to take on this piece.
Do you think the folks that you're starting to attract is directly related to the caliber of what you've been putting out over the years?
I mean, it's hard to not sound cocky in response to that, but I will say yes.
I'm setting you up to sound cocky. I'm giving you permission to sound cocky.
People tell us that there are a lot of people who say, I saw this show and this show, and I decided I wanted to be a part of that company. I do try very hard to keep our quality up, and that's. I've been able to really, because I've been directing almost everything. And now this year, we have 3 shows coming up. I'm not directing any of them.
Vanessa's saying, yay.
Yeah, and maybe other people are saying yay. I think I've heard a lot of people very excited about working with Hallie. There's a woman who runs the program at Keene State. She's going to be directing Charlie Brown for us for youth in the summer.
I saw that you guys are going to do that.
And then we're going to do another Sondheim, Assassins, down at Next Stage. We've been doing a Sondheim, I think, 4 years in a row. And Morgana Ekins is going to direct that. And I have just recently taken on directing a small 1-act, no music, really back at the things that got me so excited about theater when I was young. And there's 4 people in it, and I'll be able to go deep in acting.
Is that going to be at the actual
And that'll be at
Goose?
the Goose.
That's what I thought. Which is actually a really cool venue to go see a play at. I've done 2. I know you've probably done
Year
more than
one
that, but I've done
and
the one with your daughter.
oh yeah, gruesome playground injuries.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna do. It's called A Fool for Love. It's a Sam Shepard play. Also pretty intense. These are our
It's
sort
pretty
of
cool.
gritty, intense.
It's just cool though to be that connected to the actors. I think that's
yeah,
maybe just my thing.
You're there.
Yeah, you're there. They're like
here,
right there.
Right there.
So let's go back to because this is all about my curiosity questions, and so I'm going to go back to the set design because this set appears to be extremely different from the set pre-COVID. And what was that on? Was that intentional, or you just had a different inspiration?
It was very intentional. I'll admit I brought my old design to Hallie. I wanted, it was imperative that I give her a chance to weigh in on what she wanted to work on. But I had walked away from the last design, so I don't want to give a lot away. I really had designed from the end of the show backward for that design. There was something I wanted. There's a very dark end reveal in the show. And I wanted to make that as powerful as I could. And that was really working. I mean, I only saw it twice, in final dresses and stuff like that, but it really took my breath away. And I don't know if this version will do that one thing as well as that one, but I'm trying. Hallie felt like I had over-designed the first one, and I don't know if that's a different word. That's her word. I felt like I had created scene changes where apartment came in, apartment went out. There were like flippers that came in and out, bringing in different sets. And this time it's a unit set, which means nothing really moves. Little bits of furniture move, but the bed is out there at the beginning. In the Kit Kat Club, there's little bits of furniture. There's places that the idea is to make the Kit Kat Club kind of invades these other spaces during the show. The MC will appear in their bedroom, or the MC will appear in Fräulein Schneider and Herr Schulze's romance. He brings her a pineapple, and the MC, in our version, is presenting the pineapple. So the space is violated. The construct of this cabaret breaks into the scene work of the show, and that happens scenically also. So that's the intent of it. I do think you keep returning to the club, and that the club is a much larger metaphoric thing.
I was just going to say, so based upon the conversation we had in the beginning, it seems like this set is really bringing home the idea of you can't get away from what's happening. It's there. It's there everywhere you are. Would that be a proper assessment?
Yeah, I mean, I think. And in a weird way, the cabaret is both, it ends up being that dark place that you go, but it also is the mask. It's also the glitzy music, fun, drinking, da-da-da-da-da. Don't think. There's a line in there's a band called Moxie Fruvis that I love. They're Canadian. And they sing this song about a guy who's dying with his friend of drinking. They're both drinking, and one of them is drinking himself to death. And there's a line that says, "So we looked out the window, played some Nintendo." And that's sort of how I feel about, myself right now in this moment. What am I doing? What are these people doing? And the club is sort of a place where you go to forget. And then it also ends up being a place, there is no place to forget. So I think
those are your fans trying to contact you right now.
I'm sure that's what that is. That's why I have to quiet them. I don't know. I'm interested to see how effective we can make it. And we haven't really worked the changes. Things come in and out, little bits of furniture, and they're all done by the Kit Kat girls and boys, which is also part of that same idea, that the mechanism behind this look into people's lives is this group of people, this thing. They are not so much in the story, they are constructions that share with us the story. So, and hopefully it's just fluid, because I like scene with no like, oh, they're changing something. We should just not be able to stop.
See, that's why I was kind of priming the audience to hopefully, if they watched the show the past 2 weeks, they're going to watch this show, because a lot of times normally I would go in like, oh, I love Cabaret, I love the music, I love it, it's fun, the dancing, the whole thing, but I always like that you make me think more about. It's still a lovely evening to go to the Cabaret.
In a weird way, that's the point.
Yeah.
And we had a lovely evening. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how did you enjoy the play?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I think you add, and there's always an element, because you give more of your thought process within the play. I just find that
one of the other things I would say for people that are familiar with the Opera House and have come to plays there, or even who haven't, we have pushed out into the audience.
I saw that there's a huge stage.
As far as we can. My goal for this was it's the kind of thing you were talking about at Wild Goose. I feel like the more intimate the relationship between the audience and the people on stage, the better for this show. There are shows, like 42nd Street, or any of the big glitzy Wicked. You want to see, in a way, it's not so personal. This show is, I think, would do really well in a very intimate venue. But here we get a chance to share it with 550 people. And we're doing our free matinee for the young people of the area, again on Wednesday, April 1st. And we have filled another 550 seats.
Oh, that's awesome. I know you were thinking that you might not get all the participation that you wanted. I think that's great.
Yeah, I think my concern was it is a sexy show.
It's true.
In some ways.
Yeah.
It has some real adult content, so we only offered it for high schoolers, and people have to make sure that they feel comfortable bringing their high schoolers. But I think it's it's not like there's nudity or there's not even swearing, but there's violence and there's hate speech, and there is a kind of sexy banter that is, each and every one a virgin. You don't believe me? Try Helga. I mean, that's literally a line from the play. So it's intended to be the kind of thing that we blind ourselves with, that we sink into when we don't want to pay attention.
Well, I think it's just important to expose kids that I'm guessing some folks there's not a lot of places to go to the theater. They might not be taking their kids. So I think that's important to get a new generation understanding the history and everything behind these plays.
And boy, this is a time.
This is a good one
There's
to start
plenty
with.
to talk about. So
we have a little over a minute left. So if you want to just run down the dates of it and how people get tickets.
I would love to do that.
Thank you.
We open April 3rd. We are running through April 12th. You can get tickets most easily at the Bellows Falls Opera House website, which
BellowsFallsOperaHouse.com.
.org.
Actually, it's on the screen right now because I can't remember either.
Yeah, and there are matinees and evening shows, and we would love it if you could join.
The balcony is open for...
Balcony is open, and those are inexpensive
I was
seats.
Just gonna
we
say
have seats that run from $10 a seat to... We have table seats right by the stage now that have drink service at them and so on like that. Those are $65 a seat. But do not let costs stop you. There are passes available at local libraries, including the Bellows Falls Library, where you can bring a group of 4 for nothing.
Awesome. Thank you so much, David, for coming. And please always come. Hopefully, you'll always come and tell us about your shows because we
My
learn so
pleasure.
much.
Thank you. Thank
All right.
you.
Bye, community.
Bye, community. Love.